Hello class, for our Unit 4 discussion, I chose to focus my discussion around the uninformed and polarized voters section in Chapter 10. The section begins by referencing the work of American journalist Walter Lippmann from over a century ago. And Lippmann described the actions of the government to be out of reach, out of sight, and out of mind for the ordinary citizen. Lingard agreed with that philosophy in the case of today's society, but with a certain twist due to the birth of social media and the era of polarization. So as we enter the era of polarization, we see citizens being more loyal to the major parties. And this has allowed politicians to have more leeway to guide the messaging, and really giving politicians the power to tell their story how they want to. And this has caused the media to, or has given the media the power to deliberately misinform citizens. The first example of this that I thought about, and the section actually brought up as well, was how often President Trump uses the term fake news. So politicians have more of a voice and more power than ever through social media. If President Trump hears someone opposing his actions or policies, he's quick to defend himself, and that's a powerful tool that didn't exist years ago. So despite all of his unordinary actions, approval of his performance among Republicans has remained around 90%, confirming that regardless of his actions, Trump supporters will stand by him regardless. This section also gave an example of the media using their power for good prior to the era of polarization. So in 1972, Richard Nixon resigned as president due to an investigation that began because of a media report. President Nixon had engaged in corrupt and illegal behavior, and there was no Republican-leaning cable news channel that could defend him or destabilize the reports that were provided by the Washington Post reporters. Instead, this example is proof that the system works. It was centered around facts, and citizens were told the truth. And there wasn't social media to say those facts were not accurate or true. So in today's society, we're quick to dismiss facts if they do not align or favor our political party. This is proven with the Roy Moore example for the 2017 Senate campaign. So allegations came to light about a possible relationship between Moore and underage women, and supporters were quick to jump on social media to defend Moore. And this gives politicians more power to pursue their agendas, knowing that regardless of their actions, regardless of their past, they're going to be supported by their supporters. And this is the change in media over the years. Supporters have a voice, politicians have a voice. Lingard talks about the substitution of journalists and analysts for the candidates as the principal voices in the news. Like I talked about in the introduction of this video, politicians get to steer the wheel of how they want to represent themselves. So for example, Trump, going back to if he doesn't agree with how a certain news channel portrayed his actions or a policy or remarks, he's quick to jump on social media and defend himself, and that's something that we did not, as voters, have access to with previous presidents. So hope you enjoy my discussion, our last discussion, and it's been a pleasure working with you all during this class. Thank you.